We returned to Paris again with a heavy heart. We had missed the missionary, and had to look into where we could go instead. We could go to a sealed pyramid on the jungle island. We could go to a guardian and a treasure to recover a strange treasure, following the map we copied from Stone Circle on a previous expedition. We could go for trials and triangulations in the caverns. We would go to find something from our previous expeditions. We were eager to do that, and we selected a good Royal Avalon Society because we wouldn't miss out on the tea. It was my last night in Paris, and I decided to celebrate over drinks. Glancing up, I saw a familiar face beneath a tattered old hat, flushing a crooked grin. He invited me to play a game of dice. Yeah, we would play. When fair and square, the gentleman shook my hand and shared a bottle of aged whiskey. Winking broadly, he told me that I should pay his shop a visit soon. Off we go. Yeah, we had bought from him repeatedly, and it was always a good thing to buy from the shady dealer. As I neared the site of the expedition, a small supply ship from the Royal Avalon Society pulled up. We would buy some provisions from them. They had great torches there, and some cunning tonics that would help us in our coming expeditions. Some first aid kits, some tea, and maybe some chocolate would complete our expedition. 10, 15. Onwards we went to the island. We would refill water as we were expecting a dry spell there. And began the expedition. The map I had copied from Stone Circles on a previous expedition had led me to this island. I felt my heart beat with anticipation as I drew close. The map had not only led me to this island, but warned that it was hidden in a cave that was guarded by a fearsome beast. Aha, not only would we have to find the cave, but I would need to somehow deal with the beast if we were to retrieve the treasure. Curious, we went forward. One of us, though, was fog infected. Hopefully the fog would not close in too much. We went into the island quickly and found a stone circle. Approached it. We came across a crumbling circle of stones. Intricate inscriptions painted upon each rock seemed to indicate some sort of map. We would like them to reveal caves because we had to find a cave. I closed my eyes as I touched the cold stone, and a vision coalesced in my mind. There was a cave down there. Oh, and that cave we had to find. Yeah, we just had to walk there. No. But there was much to be learned before that. Drank some tea, and calmly we proceeded. Hunt master there. We didn't feel the need to visit him. Looked into our provisions and found no dynamite. The question was, where would we have to go? We edged closer to the south, as we knew the cave would be there. saw a strange tower from afar. And we would be able to approach a mission. I was greeted by the local missionary, who seemed annoyed that we had interrupted his solitude. We tried to trade with him, produced some of his supplies. Colorful marbles and beautiful first aid kits were what he wanted to give us. And we, on the other hand, could give him some cunning tonics. And maybe a torch or two. Came to an agreement with him. And then left. New discoveries awaited. But move forward a bit. And meet with some islanders. Encountered a new group of islanders. Their colorful garments looked much different than the attire of people I had met before on these islands. Recalled reading about similar tribes in travel logs and books of history. How did they arrive in these distant and hidden lands? We asked them for food, though, because we were hungry. As a show of goodwill, they offered us a small amount of food from their stores. I warmly thanked them for the gift. We had snails! They gave me the blessing of their mighty god before sending me on their way. Was it a strange snail god? Ah. Very good source of protein when you have no other choice, were the snails. Leaves a slime trail. We would only be able to eat the snails when we were nearly insane. We had to throw away some water to carry it all. And indeed we had to go further. Down there was the cave we had to reach. But how would we be able to reach it? It was time to visit something. The stone statue? Oh well. We were ready to be promoted to learn more. Learned how to protect us better. Then we went onward, finding an old camp in the drylands. Approached it. I discovered the abandoned campsite of a failed expedition. The air stank of death, and I wanted to leave as soon as possible. We would search the camp, though, to find out something. We failed. Stopped the trek to begin a thorough search of the camp. This turned out to be a mistake. Distracted by my search, I was the victim of an ambush by a freaking tiger. Oh, goodness me. We had to take it from him. Ah. Serpent strike was ready. Distract him for a bit. And dealt a heavy blow to him. The tiger was extremely dangerous. Had to wound him quickly. But it wasn't enough. We had to risk it. He pounced on the antelope. We had to strike what we could. Used our torch to burn him. The burning tiger attacked us heavily, then broke down. He had wounded us like no other. At least we had a tiger pelt to show for it. And a tiger steak to eat. We drank some tea to get better, unsure what would come of it. We were overburdened and had to leave some more of our water behind. We had to go further south, but also to the west. That was revealed to us by the strange circle. There's a small scout post here that we wanted to approach. Quickly went there and approached. The islanders in this region had set up a small dwelling that they used as a resting place for their best scouts. We greeted each other warily and to scout a direction for a small compensation, but we knew where we wanted to go and so left again quickly. The magnetic mountain would confuse us. But eat some chocolate and wander further. I had heard rumors from the scout post about a man with a cylinder who was out there, waiting. Some of the wounds we had from the tiger became infected. Kezia Young was infected, and we had to treat her. We tended to her quickly. Then went onward to catch some butterflies. And approach a strange man with a cylinder. I was surprised to recognize the wicked man from the tavern, who had talked about his ethnographical expeditions where Parisians could pay a visit to some sort of human zoo. We would trade with him. The recruiter had some goods available for barter. I inspected his items, although it didn't feel particularly right to trade with him. He would be able to give us something, though. For free. There was also a treasure map he had. We were rather into other things, though. Even though that was weightless. Dealt with that. I necessitated the trade. We approached the islanders. I wondered if I should warn the islanders of the debasing fate that would await them if they went with a recruiter. It was impossible, though, and we left. I would often think about what became of the islanders I left behind in the hands of this human trafficker, but we were not in a position to stop them. There's something else there, an oasis that we could visit. Decided to go there and approach it. Everyone was relieved to arrive at the oasis, a truly wondrous place. Surrounded by nothing but an endless ocean of sand, we decided to rest here by the fire. I was being followed. As I readied myself for an ambush, a group of strangers approached us with open palms. We will invite them to the camp. I invited the group to join me. They smiled, sat down, and we began sharing various stories by the warm fire. We would trade with them. They liked the colorful marbles, and so we tried to trade with them for it. We decided to just give them away. And as we were eager to see what goods I had brought from the outside world. We would sleep, though. Slept well, knowing that friendly travelers were protecting our camp. At the break of dawn, the strangers thanked me for their hospitality and left. Morning sun shone gloriously upon the calm waters. The oasis had been the perfect resting spot, and we would rest again. Kezia Young shot me a sly look and challenged me to solve a riddle. Should I accept? I would surely gain her respect. But what if I failed? We would surely fail, so we ignored it. The time of the silly game was over. I needed sleep. Suit yourself. We were happy maybe to heal a little bit, and so we rested as much as we could. I rose early that morning to watch a beautiful desert sunrise. The oasis had been a perfect resting spot. We left. Adventure was awaiting, and we went to the mountains to see what would expect us there. We found another oasis. And something else strange, though. A pirate shipwreck was down there in the sands. I gasped at the sight of the ship's ghostly crew, but they offered me lipless smiles and asked if I was up for a little game. No, it would be impossible for us. We looked if we could trade with them, maybe, for a bit. That was also not a good idea. We decided to leave. And we went back to the oasis that we had found. Resting there would be a good idea. A Maor challenged me to a wrestling bout. No. I politely declined engaging in such strenuous activities and instead went for a walk. We spent the remainder of the evening without incident. We were too old to take it on, and also Kezia was the woman we were in love with. The morning sun shone gloriously upon the calm waters. It was a fine thing to have a moment of peace at last. We continued our journey after a good cup of tea. We had to walk through the tar pits, though, and travelled, passing some elephants and covered in tar. We were there before the lair that was prophesied for us, and we decided to heal Mrs. Catley and also Homie, who had been infected. Then we approached the lair of the monster. Approached the mouth of the cave trepidatiously, not sure what to expect. Bones littered the area, and a foul bestial scent filled my nostrils. The treasure of legend awaited inside, but first I would have to get past the Guardian, or convince the locals to help out. Could explore in the darkness, or we could light the torch and explore. Stealing my nerves, I lit a torch and crept inside the lair of the beast. The stench grew stronger as I proceeded into the bowels of the cave, and it wasn't long before I saw the outline of the great beast. In the dim light, I saw the glint of treasure behind the creature. It seemed the legends were true. We could try to steal the treasure, though. Were there good chances here? Yeah, we would try to steal it quietly. It was possible we could make it. Alas, not. The Guardian appeared too great to fight directly, so I decided to use stealth to take the treasure. Unfortunately, the blasted thing was as keen of hearing as it was fearsome in an aspect. Before I could react, it attacked in a flash. Ow! We were poisoned and attacked. It's time to strike back. Try to distract it. With mighty Kerpen strikes. Maur did his best. The oryx would shield the herd. It was attacked with poison. And other strikes. We would attack the beast. It was what we had come for. The treasure. Be able to flank the enemy. And then go for a great strike. The oryx attacked. And the walking stick. But didn't bring enough. The strange beast poisoned us again and again. Its mandibles struck without mercy. We were curious of how to react. But Amaur was ready. To strike the great beast down. And after the centipede, we took his legs and meat. The Guardian was slain, and the treasure was mine for the taking. I could not wait to see it in its rightful place, the museum of the Royal Avalon Society back home. A jeweled scepter. The treasure is found. We were saved and returned safely to Paris with an unfinished map, but oh well, we were feeling so good. The 3 little snails were spent to a zoo where they were actually the foundation for a great breed of snails. We returned with a lot of treasures and a great reward. We were thinking about what we would learn next in the time that would be left for us. Medical assistance had always proved the right thing for us. In Paris, there was still no news about Malin's whereabouts. Well, I suppose I could do nothing more than continue scouring the islands. Went to our shady dealer and looked at his special wares. A tied wonder hallucinogenic toad, a leather girdle, a meat cleaver, a hunting knife, a storm lantern would provide light even in the darkest of times. Ooh. We simply couldn't decide what to take and figured I didn't really need anything. I thanked the trader again and went on my way. We visited the Royal Avalon Society and joined their competition to dig up the most buried treasure to win. Looked at the competition status. Lux Labs was in the first. Fire crackled warmly as I entered the comfortable main hall. We would look at the shop. There was a corgi available for us that they had prepared, and alas, a talwar, a razor-sharp curved Indian sword that would deal swords. And of course tea and a chakram. I decided to save my tickets for something else. I looked at the trek, especially at Amaur. We were in love, and Mrs. Catley was there to provide additional warmth, and we thought to ourselves we should make a pause. Spend a night in the tavern, refill our breathing, breathe in the great Paris air, and return to this place another time. Dear Diary, we'll be back soon. Thank you for watching and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Can, signing out.